Yes, got a nice rainy, crappy day. Yeah, I'll start as I walk. Last night, my iPod died, so I couldn't tape any of this stuff, but I lined up the fenders, got some hinges, I welded them on here, and if I remember, I'll post some pictures of how it looks, like together, like a little mock-up thing. These were to hold in place, I welded that on, both sides on, being bolted on by 3 1/4-inch bolts. The seats mounted, and yes, the fenders, and see, I got the hood mounted, 4 bolts, thought that was easy enough to do. But yeah, let me pop this clamp off real quick. There. Yeah, this is just my fuel line clamp, just wanted to leave it on. But, let's see what we got. I traded some tie-dye trash fit for this key. Off of a pull start lawnmower, just on, off, no extra crankage. Just kind of neat, like that's off. That. And you want to see a little difference in the fuel, because I mentioned this last video. I don't remember, but I had it hooked up backwards. I had where it's supposed to go to the carburetor, I had that running to the tank. So when I started up, it started pumping it backwards. I had nylon tubing just so I could see if it was gonna work, if it works. But yeah. And also, what I did, I flipped it the other way. And I ran that up, changed it all the fuel line stuff because I didn't really like the nylon. That goes into that little spade connector, because that needs to be a bigger one, and that's a smaller to go into there. So I had some trouble fitting it into the smaller line, but I got to fit. And for my vacuum line, I switched it out from the nylon ghettoed upness to this steel line with the rubber insert on the inside. So it runs up to there, instead of running it around and everything. Ran it just so here, across, and there. Eventually, I'm just going to have to move it down here when I put the fender wells in. Whatever you want to call it. I just actually noticed that. Because I'm going to do a cutaway exhaust. And my fuel line was like rubbing up against it, and this should help protect it because it's steel. This nylon on the inside, I'm going to header out the whole exhaust when I'm done, but yeah. So where'd I put them exhaust pieces? There they are. Okay, so this is where I bought. Not all that I bought. Actually, where's that? Here, there's. I did buy an 18-inch piece of this. I left it in my dad's car, and he went somewhere, so I'm gonna have to wait to get that. But let's see, this right angle 3/4-inch street elbow. This is what's gonna be welded onto there. That's probably gonna be chopped, cut, and angled. And from this, there's gonna be this piece is gonna be cut in half. That. Gonna be a screw in, making it so it's all like unscrewable. That's gonna get screwed into there. I'm gonna get some 3/4-inch conduit because that's easy to bend. It's gonna go down over stuff and turn into stuff. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm working with. Yep. Oh, my mess. So this is going to be around this area. See what I mean? How I had to move everything? Because the conduit's going to run. Yeah, it's going to run like that perfectly. that, probably gonna get another street elbow. It's gonna turn down, and then over or something. It's gonna be a muffler, most likely the stock one, if I can fit it, the giant one. Got a 5-inch pipe in the middle there to this ball valve. I had to use some screw and stuff because the ball valve's brass was the main thing. And that's where I'm using the 18-inch one. That's just gonna come over, probably just elbow and down. Still need to buy some stuff. The reason this is going here is because this is going where the stock shifter is. So right now that's open. That's why I had to weld this on so it sticks out, so I can still open it up. That would be open exhaust, and then that would be mufflered out like that. So pretty cool setup. This is just so, I wouldn't recommend this to people that like aren't experienced at hiding stuff good, because building a sleeper mower is freaking hard as hell. Everything has to fit under them fenders, pretty much. Like, some people mount the motor up there. They also have full hoods and stuff, but I want to mount like regular engine there eventually, because I don't want that weight when I do like first drive. I have a shifter ball that I was going to put on to it. I probably still am. It's just to open the fenders up. The ball would be in the way. Open or not, the ball is in the way. So basically, to lift the fenders up, that ball valve has to be open to the open exhaust, like hiding in the fenders. And this ball has to be tucking off. Just isn't that bad, and then it just folds up. So basically that. I still need to add a fuel filter. I need to get a brand new fuel filter for it. Let me show you under it. Originally with this, it was just going to run straight out. And I was thinking, I have a fuel pump. Why not just set it up like that? Because it'll look like 10 times better. Like, you can tell when the fenders are on than just having that going straight down. That probably wouldn't have worked. So, one second. Get some light. Drill. Goes through that hole. I had to drill a couple to get hiding exactly the way I wanted it to. Goes up to one of them big wire clamps. Also have the starter wire down there. The wire for the kill switch goes there. And that just goes through a hole that was already there. I want it tucked up nice, so if I go over a big bump or something, it doesn't bend, which this I was thinking of, because I plan on eventually being able to drive it on like the lawn and stuff, and if I were to go off a curb, I'm not sure that might hit, so I have to change that, just cut it there, move it up, and just weld something there, so that's tucked up. Tuck that up and basically bend that up like that. Something like that. Then I'll have to readjust my brakes. Actually, it's a little tight. Let me adjust it, just adjust it a little bit. A little bit more. Here it's scraping. There we go. You just have to work on that later. But I also have the motor finally mounted by 4 bolts. I found, I'll have to stand up in a second, but since I had the 2 front ones drilled, I just had this plate that's like $1 or something. It's a safety plate cover or something. These are 5/16 because I had the 2 front holes, so I bolted that down. that I just put a punch through. And then, yeah. I got that. Show you the schematics. Just in case you guys lost them. Lost them or something. There they are. If you lost them here, let's see what we got. It's in the manual. I just added some stuff. Basically, the middle of that's 3 inches or something. That's what I did. And that 3 1/4, 3/8, because my measuring tape doesn't have points, so I just had fractions right now. There you go, guys, just in case you lost it or something. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Probably the last thing I'm going to do tonight is cut the slit in the frame for the train, and then be done for the night. And tomorrow, all I have to do is mount what would be left is the exhaust. I still need to get a conduit and find a conduit bender I can use. Put the sprocket on, put a chain, measure it, chain tensioner, the latches, and the tires. So, yeah. The reason I'm doing the tires last, instead of like the first thing, people probably want like a rolling chassis first. It's because if I had a rolling chassis, I would never finish this. Literally. I would mount the engine, like if I had the right tires, I'd mount the engine, run a chain, with no brakes or anything, I'd just drive it. Never finish it, like never put the legit exhaust and stuff. So I'm making it the last thing to be able to drive it is the tires. So it's holding me back. Got the shifter boot on, fuel thing, and I have the dual kill switch set up, so that's off. Just in case that doesn't work, I can lift this up, and I know this one will always work. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Got any questions about it? Put it in the comments below. I'll respond to them, cause yeah. And also thing with these ball valves is, see that there's nylon in it. So eventually the nylon will melt, and this will not make a great seal. It'll still make a good seal, sort of, but at least it'll be quiet, and then I open it up and it's all the way loud. You're gonna ask something about that, but yep, so that's about it, guys. Seeing if I need to ask you anything about this, but I think I'm pretty solid on it, so yeah, guys, so comment, rate, subscribe. Hold on, if I remember to put the folders in, it'll be right after this part, so stay tuned. So comment, rate, subscribe, and see you guys later.